how could a person get their app in the App Store? Like, how does that work?
So honestly, at first I thought it was really easy. I just thought, you just sit at Apple.
Yeah.
You have to have. They have this thing called an app, like an app developer account. You gotta have first.
Oh, okay.
And then once you have that, you have to have screenshots of your app. So.
Starting out today, this is 10th University, and we created this podcast to find those rare people that have a rare mindset. I'm talking if it's 100 people, they're in that top 10 percentile. I am your host, Roosevelt, and we got a special guest today, Rod. Rod is an entrepreneur. He's also an app developer, especially on the designing side. And I wanted him to speak on his app and how people could tap into that same area. So, all right, Rod.
All right, so what's up, everybody? My name is Rod. So I'm a current digital media arts engineering student at LSU right now. I'm a past FAMU grad. I got a BS in information technology, and I'm a current co-founder of an app called BuzzTrek. It's a platform that we're going to talk about today a little bit more in depth and kind of that whole experience. So I look forward to sharing a lot of keys and dropping a lot of good things for everybody to take away.
Yeah. So getting right into it, like what is your app?
All right. So BuzzTrek is essentially a one-stop resource app for college students to seek and give support to other college students. Like I said, we really want this platform to be strictly for college students. So even when you sign up, you have to have an EDU email.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a private network for everybody, to kind of really get in there. We have these different communities that I mentioned. So we have like a first-generation student community, mental health, professionalism, things that we all encounter as college students and that are unique to us. And we offer that space where you can go in there, ask questions, get advice, a lot of peer-to-peer support, which is really important that we really don't, maybe not focus on as much, that are unique to college students. So those problems, we want to tackle those. So that's the kind of the reason that we thought something like BuzzTrek would be really useful in this climate.
I definitely like that event space too. I'll be on there.
Yeah.
So getting right into it, man. So how does a person make an app?
Okay.
Overall.
So it is a process, but it's a good learning process. So this is like my first time ever doing this. So I was kind of learning along the way. I would say the first thing you want to do when you want to make an app is kind of first figuring out what type of app you want to do.
Okay.
You want a social media app, you want a retail app, you want a gaming app. Kind of figuring out what you want to do is really important. And then once you kind of figure out what you want to do, go in the App Store and see who's doing something similar to it. Seeing how they're being successful is really key. Scoping out the competition, seeing how you can be different is really important. Then from there, you want to pick your name. And then along with your name, you want to have a brand, your logo, your colors. That's really important, making sure that, either you're trying to stand out, you want to make sure that you don't stand out too much, that, you don't want to be out of the box too much, because that's also a thing, if you see a lot of apps have the white background, kind of keep those things in mind when you're picking colors and stuff like that.
Right.
A lot of these things, they do matter. Color does matter when you're picking things for an app, so that's definitely the next thing. Then, most importantly, you want to get to sketching and mocking up your app. So
let's get into it.
So when I say sketch and mocking up, I mean literally just getting a piece of paper and a pencil and just roughly sketching it out, like some screens. So from your login screen to your, even logging out screen. So just how you would typically want your app experience to be. And now, that'll be different upon if you're doing a social media app, a gaming app, retail app, stuff like that. Okay. So just kind of sketching out how you want it to look is really important.
Question. I can't draw at all.
Right.
You say draw me a picture, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to say, you fill it in. But, so what are some options for people that can't draw, to get that up?
I would say even if you can't sketch, still do it. I would say I'm not a bad drawer, but I'm not a good one either. I'm in that middle class.
Okay.
So still do it, but even if not, you can take it a step further and take it to the web version, which is going to be next anyway, the prototyping phase. It's a lot of online platforms that you can use to do the online prototyping if you just kind of want to skip that step of sketching. So I would suggest looking up Figma, Figma.com.
Okay.
It's an online platform that you can prototype and sketch and kind of do your online art boards of how you want the app to look.
Nice.
That's something you can use. And if you have an Adobe account, there's a software called Adobe XD that I still currently use right now and in school to do a lot of our kind of revisions of different screens I want to do. And if you got a little money, you can look at Sketch. That's another software platform a lot of designers are using to do their online wireframing, sketching, and stuff like that when it comes to making an app and making screens.
Yeah, that's valuable right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you have to with an app? Is it how in depth does it have to be? Do you have to know how to code and make a computer or something
It can be kind of like it seemed like a big thing, and it is. But if you break it down into pieces, it can feel a little smaller. So if you have an idea first, write your idea down. If you're in that phase, I got an idea, all right, write it down. From there, if you're not comfortable with learning how to design or being a coder, look locally. So a lot of people may be watching this, they may be still in school. Look into your your school's computer science departments. You got your journalism, graphic design students. It's a lot of people in your network that you may not even know do these things. So tap into them. And like I said, if you want to be the one to kind of learn how to design and code, you're gonna have to, get into like I mentioned, those platforms, the Figma, the Sketch, the Adobe XD. Get in there, design it, and then once you're ready to take it into the code, you have a MacBook. There's this platform that you can download called Xcode, where you can get in there and start doing your stuff, which is strictly for iOS devices. And then if you don't have a MacBook, you can still download the Android version of that, which is called Android Studio, which is free.
Okay.
So you can get in there and start coding and building your screens. And you can definitely reference a lot of YouTube. Kind of people have all types of little mini videos you can watch on how do I build a login screen, and kind of just taking it screen by screen if you can. It doesn't have to be a fast process with building your app. Take your time with it. Our app specifically, it took us 2 years to kind of get to where we're at now.
Wow.
And that was because
it is good.
Yeah. And that was because of school. We were still in school building it. We would do weekly updates. All right, we got this done this week. Taking it, take it at a time, take it at pace. It doesn't have to be built by next month.
Right.
Do it at a pace that you can achieve at, and that's really important. So it all can be done. So like I said, if you either want to do it by yourself, you can take that route. Or if you're not that comfortable, you kind of want to just be kind of the brains person, how I want it to look into your, different places in your network and seeing if you can find those people that can help you achieve the, the vision you're looking for.
Okay. All right. So, what's the maintenance on an app? Because I imagine, sometimes with a website thing, you make a website one time, you're finished.
Right.
You have to do more to it,
Oh, the maintenance. So we do have a lot of bugs sometimes that you'll encounter.
Okay.
So with code, you can always have a bug. So I can give an example. We were trying to implement the feature where we can post links into our app. And at first we had a bug where it was kind of the hyperlink wouldn't all the way go all the way sometimes.
What's a bug real quick?
So a bug can be an array of things. So it can be you having an error when you logging in, it's taken to a wrong screen.
Okay.
Anything that's not supposed to happen is considered a bug, essentially.
Gotcha.
So anything that interrupts the user experience, and I can give what user experience is. That's just anytime you get on a platform, or Instagram or Twitter, and you kind of comment on, I like how this looks, or I'm liking how I can slide this out. That's all a part of a user experience, and you having a great time on the app.
Gotcha.
And anytime the user experience is interrupted, that can be considered a bug.
Okay.
And those things you want to take away, because anytime somebody encounters a bug constantly, it's going to stop them from using the platform.
Gotcha. So, leading back into what you were saying.
Mm-hmm. When you're doing your maintenance, you have to do a lot of testing with that too. So if you found a bug, you want to ensure that, okay, maybe we want to stop the app. So we have a maintenance screen that I designed too. So whenever we're under maintenance, we can push out a screen saying the app's maybe currently down or something like that. And you've all noticed that too with any popular app like an Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah.
When one stops working, they may put out a message saying we're currently under maintenance or something like that.
Or even at FAMU, it could be with Blackboard. It say at certain times it'll be off or whatever. Yeah. Give you that heads up. Okay.
So during that time is when you really want to go in there, correct the bug, and then you want to test to make sure it's still not happening. And that really involves more of the developer side of code, going in there, fixing stuff. or as a designer, if you see something you want to add, you can go in that during that time as well. So like I said, a developer and a designer, they can work together to kind of fix out the bug and take care of the maintenance together. So
okay, so how could a person get their app in the App Store? Like, how does that work?
So honestly, at first I thought it was really easy. I just thought, you just sit in the Apple.
Yeah.
You have to have. They have this thing called an app, like an app developer account. You gotta have first.
Oh, okay.
And then once you have that, you have to have screenshots of your app. So if you've ever noticed when you get ready to go download the app, they always have those pictures. Those are called app screenshots. So that's like how the app looks on the inside. So you have to have those squared away, and they have to be the correct size, of course. And all this stuff can be found on like their website. They give you the complete layout of how everything needs to look.
Okay.
So you have your account with the app developer. You have your screenshots. You have to have a privacy policy. So anytime somebody uses an app, 9 times out of 10, there's a terms of service and a privacy policy.
Okay.
And you can find these templates online, and you just cater them to your app. So it's not like you got to rewrite the world. Find something, tweak it, add your own, stuff to it. So Apple needs that on there as well. And then the last thing is you're going to have to pay. So in order to have your app on the App Store, for Apple at least, you have to pay. It's $99 a year. Okay. So it may seem like a lot, but that's an investment.
Yeah.
Think about it as that. And then if you're putting your app on Google Play Store, it's only a $25 fee one time. So if you want to start small, do Google first. But a lot of people, we have iPhones, so we used to, I want to know Apple, so you can have that, and it doesn't take long to get approved. Like when we submitted our app, I think it was approved in at least within a day. Wow. And nice. I think it was on the App Store within maybe 2 days after that.
Nice.
So about a good week process, and they move pretty efficient, and they have to approve it, make sure there's no bugs, as we just was talking about.
All right, so what is next for BuzzTrek?
All right, so what's next for BuzzTrek? We're going to be working on adding some more communities to the app. We just recently launched this new one called International Students, which is strictly for them to kind of go in there and have their own space. We've noticed the current climate with everything going on with schools going virtual and them being impacted. So we wanted to make sure that they had a place on our platform to kind of get what they need from one another. Also, we're going to be looking at seeing how we can optimize and, make sure we're supporting a lot of students during this virtual environment. A lot of students this is their first time going to college and then having to be doing it online. We want to make sure that they know that BuzzTrek is here, and any questions or anything they need, BuzzTrek is that platform for them to come use.
I really like you guys' response time.
Yeah.
Your team they're beautiful on that.
Yeah, we're definitely keeping an eye on everything that's going on and making sure, we're being, we know our target audience is college students, so anything that's impacting them, we're making sure, okay, how can BuzzTrek come in and be the support system like it's supposed to be. So like I said, from the beginning, we're a one-stop resource app for college students, so we want to make sure we're being as resourceful as possible. So
yeah. So we definitely look forward to having you on the team, man. And one thing that we always ask all of our guests is, what is one way that you help serve people?
One way I would say I've always been a big person on mentorship. So I've been mentored. I have a mentor. I currently mentor right now in Baton Rouge with 100 Black Men. So mentorship is big to me. Always being able to pass it forward, teach somebody, you be teachable as well. It all goes hand in hand. So that's my one way.
I remember you was my OL.
So you
I was a little kid, man, coming in. I was all nervous and trying to fake it. He was like, drop that cool stuff, man, and get out there,
And look at him now. So listen, it all paid full circle. There you go.
So it's been a pleasure having you on here. We learned a lot. You dropped a lot of gems, and we look forward to what's next.
Definitely.
All right, man.